If I had a pound for every time I've been asked from my pupils about the secret to consistency, I'd be a very wealthy man. In fact, consistency is something that I personally have always strived for in my own game, and yet I've always found it quite elusive. And I wanted to look at why that is and how the golf hammer can actually help you get to the bottom of developing consistency. Consistency being anything comes through practice. I became more adept at walking because I practiced, catching, kicking, throwing because I practiced, and all without any great instruction, or certainly without any reading any books and no teachers. So why does that not apply to golf? Well, I believe that there's a number of reasons why golf remains a bit elusive on that front. One of the reasons is clarity of task. So if we could imagine throwing a ball in a bucket, if day upon day you came back to throw balls in a bucket, the task would remain the same. And therefore that consistency of task can then lead to consistency of performance. But in golf, what I found was that every day I came to the game, I changed the task. It became carrying a tray on my right hand, it became starting my downswing with my left hip, it became turning my left shoulder under my chin, etc, etc, etc. You probably know this stuff. And that kind of leads on to the complexities. The thousands of books that have been written on how to play the game means that we can become paralyzed by that analysis, rather than the simplistic task of hitting the nail with the hammer. And finally, that simplicity leads to directing your attention appropriately. So when someone picks up a hammer to hit a nail, the task remains very, very clear. And that's fine, and every day they come back, the task remains the same, although the nail may be in different positions. So when that is the case, where do we direct our attention? Which senses do we call upon? Well, we really call upon two senses, and they are pretty well the same senses we use to play golf. One is visual, so we look at the nail, and the other is kinesthetic or feel, and that is really paying attention to what we're doing with the hammer, so that we know where it is in time and space in relation to the task. And that's why the golf hammer is going to help you develop consistency in your golf, because it naturally directs your attention to what you're doing with the tool in relation to the task. So once we've simplified that, we have a much, much greater chance of learning from each experience and adjusting the delivery of the hammer to produce the desired outcome. So that's why the golf hammer can develop consistency in your game. Good luck with that.